Alright, welcome traders. Time once again one will be giving an update on the situation of the markets to see what kind of potential opportunities we can be capitalizing on when they do eventually play out. As usual, I'll try and keep this webinar as educational as possible. But before we go into the analysis, first of all, there is disclaimer explaining that trading foreign exchange and the global financial markets is considered high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Please seek the advice of an independent financial advisor, and this webinar is for educational purposes only. So the pair that I want to analyze right now is the pound dollar. And clearly what we can see from the monthly time frame is that the market has just made this nice impulse this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the upside. And from here we can see clearly that this area is a very strong resistance level, and we do expect that at some point in time this area should act as a resistance again and make another correction to the downside. So we've identified from here that we are currently testing a very strong resistance level um, in the monthly time frame. Now, going into the weekly time frame, what do we see? Now from a weekly perspective, um, we can see that this market has just made this um, nice impulse and correction to the downside. Now, generally speaking, after an impulse and a correction, what you do expect is another impulse to the upside. However, we may get this impulse, but probably not so much to the upside because, as you know, from the monthly time frame, we've already identified that around this region we do have a strong resistance here. But still, there is a possibility of this market um, rallying up to the upside for a retest again of this resistance level around here. So this currently is the situation on the weekly time frame. Now, one more thing, when you have an impulse, if you want to measure the correction, what you have to do is to take your Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse, and we can see clearly that the price market has just retraced to the 50 fib level here, from which we do expect that the markets can make another impulse towards the previous resistance level. So this is the situation from the weekly perspective. Going down into the daily time frame, what do we have? And from a daily perspective, the market has just created new structure here. Now, which new structure am I talking about? From here, we can see that we do have this strong support area here and another strong support area, possibly another support area here. Now, why is that the case? Because the market has just printed this um, excuse me, the market has just printed this structure here, which I would love you to see. um, an impulse to the downside, um, a correction, and another lower low but equal high. Now, when you see a market that has made this correction to the downside but created another lower low and an equal high, then what you do expect is for the markets to make another retracement again to the downside before making a correction. Before impulsing to the upside, possibly for the creation of this inverse head and shoulders pattern here, which of course is what possibly might occur here. So there's a possibility of us getting this inverse head and shoulders pattern, which we are currently which kind of structure we are currently forming on the daily time frame. So definitely we do expect another impulse to the upside. So how can we be capitalizing on these potential longing opportunities we have identified on the um, daily time frame of the GBP USD charts? Now, what we have to do is to delve into the 4-hour time frame and keep in mind that right now, um, we're already approaching the Asian session, and it is important to note that the pound does not like to move during the Asian session. So possibly we could get this impulse we are looking for to the upside. But at the moment, what we can do is to draw this trend line here, this counter trend line here, and wait for the market to break, um, to have a strong break above um, this trend line here we've identified. Now, if we will get this impulse, this break to the upside, and possibly a retest to this area, then inside this area is where we'll be looking for our longing opportunity, and we will be waiting for the market to shift from a bearish situation as we would have when the market is pulling back down to a bullish situation. And if the market gives us this bullish situation that we'll be looking for, then we'll be going in for a nice long, uh, for possible retest of the resistance level we identified, which possibly could be about 80 to 100 pips from this area. And this is how we intend to approach this GBP USD longing opportunities. If you do have any comments, feel free to drop one for me in the commenting section, and I'll see you in my next update. Cheers.